Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back. So this must be the slowest growing wog of orcs ever, but this is going to be another update for my snake bites here. I'll just run you through the little bit I've got done. So you'll see a lot of these boys here have actually been painted, and yeah, they're a lot of fun actually to work on, building up their skin tones a little bit and putting that little bit more time than I usually do into painting them. I think it, yeah, really brings them to life, and then popping on their little green tufts for their hair as well. This guy's got it covered with the skull, but I think it just adds a little bit more to them. That's the original one. This guy is another one painted up recently, and he's got a smaller tuft. It's just the way it worked out, and he's got the squig biting on him there. And I think I'm going to call these guys done. They don't have any tattoos or anything, which actually might be a little bit of fun to go back in on and do a little like squig or tooth or something like that. Some details in them to bring some more of the purple, pinky purple magenta into the whole scheme altogether. Sorry about that. This guy came out cool. His hair, yeah, nice and spiky. The squig on his shoulder turned out great actually, with his big grin and his teeth coming out. So that one worked out pretty nice. Yeah, a lot of movement in this guy. You can see I need to varnish him to take away some of the gloss. But yeah, it's a bit of fun because you can add in the different spots of color in all the different squigs. This guy kind of orangey red brown, this guy yellowy orange here on top. But yeah, they're cool. Another guy getting painted up here. Obviously a lot more leather and clothes on this guy, but I'm trying not to go too far away from this test model. So it's kind of like browns, reddy browns, and browny yellows, if they're the terms. But yeah, not anything too crazy. Keep them kind of all uniform colours, to some degree at least. And you got the Nasher squig here. So this guy needs a few washes and highlights and stuff like that, and he'll be done. I did actually go in after with green stuff. You'll see he's got a bit of a wonky face. yeah, one of his eyes is quite lower. But I actually just like resculpted his eyes and his teeth and mouth and everything. I just took it out with a knife because I was like, gives him more character, and gave him some just green stuff, teeth coming out. They're a lot bigger, but I think it just adds a bit more character to him. And obviously he's got the wonky eyes, but you know what? It adds character. I'm gonna say it adds character, yeah. it doesn't really bother me. I actually think it looks kind of cool. So you can see here in the back here, these squigs are getting painted up. Actually getting through them pretty well. Like, happy enough with how the texture came out. So this was all sculpted of epoxy sculpt, and a little bit of time put into adding some texture, scratches and stuff into the skin. Now you'll see obviously it's very glossy. That's the wash then again that I need to varnish down. But yeah, happy enough with this guy actually. And the Noblar or I still haven't decided if they're Gretchen or if they're Snotlings or what. They look like Gretchen or Grots on top there, so that's going to be him. I'm kind of going for a slightly different colour scheme for their skin, slightly paler. But look, that's not finalised either. This guy needs a few more steps of highlights as well, and see where they come out. Same with this guy. I went for a different colour skin obviously on this squig here. But yeah, really happy with how he came out. Like, he looks, anatomy wise, of a squig doesn't look too far from what kind of GW kind of standard is. It makes kind of sense. The legs are probably a bit thin here. They'll probably be skinny for the weight of them, but I'm not going to worry about that too much. And I might change his eyes to green just to make it pop out a little bit more against this this kind of orangey yellow skin here. But yeah, the base, a little bit more fun with this, a few more mushrooms and puffballs. I'm enjoying this texture of the, what do I have here? It's coconut fibers, adding a lot of nice texture. And I'm also starting to use this is green tea, apple green tea. And it looks like leaves kind of. I'm kind of using that for more of those little fairy guys that I make, and just to add some more little texture and different kind of size bits and bobs to there for those hedge folk. But yeah, let's see how this guy's coming out. So he still needs some more washes and highlights and that kind of thing, but you see the main colors are there. I'm going to go a bit paler again with the skin of the guy on top there, and I have to work on this banner. I've kind of drawn up some ideas, but they're nothing too crazy. I think I'm maybe just kind of like an off-white kind of creamy background with all the colours, and they'll kind of pop off then. The maybe more solid magentas and pinks will look nice on that. And it's kind of turned into a little kind of diorama. Because I gave him this kind of bigger base, which I don't really know what I'm going to count him as in game. But do you know, I think you could kind of count as like 2 wounds of a Slugger Boy, maybe. I mean, do you know what I mean? If he's in a unit of Slugger Boys, that's another Slugger Boy, and then all these guys. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 8 boys. You know what I mean? So if 2 guys get killed, you just take him off. I don't know if that would work. You can let me know, but that's kind of the direction I'm going at the moment. Right, so that's the painting side of it, really. This guy, which I do need a bigger base for, had a little bit of work done to him. Obviously, he's got these shoulder pads, building up some armor on him, and I gave him some more teeth on his helmet here because I think it looks cooler. So he's going to be a lot of fun to paint up. This is going to be all like really bright, maybe pink or something on top, just make it really pop off the back. Whoop, where did that go? And then he needs the boss poles as well on the back, which will be something similar to the banner I put on the back of this guy. The squig there in the back, just to bring it all together, but with different lifts. Now, this was the idea I was talking about in the last Orc update video, was this kind of grab a stick that shoots out and then grab squig. So this is going to be maybe a bit difficult to put together, but we'll see how it works. So this is a squig. This is really base kind of shape. And he's going to be, you know, roaring, and he'll have all his teeth coming out, and he'll be grabbed in his claw, and his little legs be to the side, and that'll count as like his, I don't know, he could have like a really big jaw, that could be his power claw, or it could just be something cool on the front of it as an accessory to his already pimped out gun here. It's like a shotgun or like 3-barrel shooter, I don't even know, but that's something that I'll have to figure out as I go. That's kind of the idea with him so far. This guy, right? So what did I have to get done with this? So he's got a fair bit more armor here on the side. This is built up. I had to bring this out a little bit more on the front so he could stand more level. Just so I could do some kind of barrier in the front. Because I know he's orky and everything, but it would be a bit ridiculous just to be standing at the front with no sort of armor or barrier at all. So what I really should have done is consider that when I posed him. Because this arm here is going to be holding the chains going down to his head, to his tusks. So these might have to move. So there's a little bit up in the air still, but the rest of the body's still kind of getting worked on. More armor, like these spikes, are going to be brought all the way down. Maybe leave a bit of space for maneuverability with the rocket launcher here. This guy got switched out, so he's been added as one of the shooters and one of the gunners instead of the guy I had there, because his legs were too wide. He's taking up too much space on, and they won't fit comfortably on the top. He's been armored up here, some rivet work getting done. Same thing on this side. I don't know, riveting, it's not, I don't find it very fun, so I always end up like not getting it done very quickly, but that's the idea. And underneath here will be rockets, and I'm going to drape over like a squig skin here, so there might be like a big squig kind of skinned hanging down here, so that'll be fun to sculpt, as well as the floor here will be a little bit of metal, but also maybe a squig fur or 2 there, just to kind of mix it up. Like it kind of reminds me of the monocle that I made for the Lord of the Rings strategy battle game ages ago, years and years ago, and there was an article in White Dwarf where they used basically I think it was either card or kind of heavier paper, and they'd make kind of I suppose hides or fur and that kind of thing, or leather of the creatures of Haradrim. I think that's where they were from, but basically on the side of the structure on top of the Oliphant itself, so it kind of made it a little bit more, I don't know, realistic and brought it together. So that's the idea I want to go with this. And you see here, obviously these tusks aren't stuck in yet, but I'm kind of waiting so I can get into the rivets, because I made some supports here to make it makes a bit more sense. So I have to rivet up them, and obviously put a magnet on this guy as well. You see his base, his foot there. But yeah, I don't know if I said it in the last one or if I included it, but yeah, he has a new face. I kind of gave him new teeth and everything just to make him a bit more ferocious. I don't know if I included that. No, do I have to give him eyeballs? I can't remember if I gave him eyeballs. That's even going to focus for me. Yeah, I do need to give him eyeballs, I think. Oh, there's one. Anyway, I don't usually paint eyeballs, but this guy's such kind of a central figure in this that, you know, he's the driver, he's the rider, so I'll have to do that. But yeah, that's the idea with that. I think if it'll go in focus for me, yeah, it'll get there eventually. It'll get there eventually is what I'm saying at the moment. Where the hell did that come out of? I don't even know. Right, anyway, before I break anything else. And yeah, last up, this guy. Not much done to him either. He's, you know, a little bit of cloak. And he's got the squig there and the eyeball as well. That's kind of it for the Orks, guys. I've been working on other bits and bobs, and I'll kind of coming back to them. But yeah, that's going to be the update for the Snakebite at the moment. Having a lot of fun painting the boys, really. Painting the blues and these really vibrant colours. Just something different for Orks altogether. For me, anyway. So that's kind of what I'm working at the moment, but I will get the squig art done at some point. Here's another tip, I suppose, actually, just that I copped it as I move it and it falls apart on me. This is actually just dental floss for kind of these wrappings. Instead of having to sculpt them out of green stuff, it seems to be just a lot handier, I think, and it's a lot faster as well. So that's it, guys. I'm going to, like I said in the last one, I'll be back to you when I have enough done to warrant an update, but let me know what you think of how I'm going and what you think of these mushrooms. I think they're pretty cool. A pop of red on the base. Yeah, okay. Cheers, guys. Catch you next one.